Hey there friends, right, here we are, the last piece of the puzzle in this series of videos about telling your origin story. And this video we're finally here is about actually telling your origin story because in some ways this is the bit that confuses people. When I work with personal clients, what they are expecting very often before we start talking is something that is sort of rigid, you know, something that they can put on a website or something, and they can definitely do that. But what we don't want is something that is just sort of dead on a page, right? And you know what I tend to the story that I tend to write for clients is usually only say 20 or 30 lines long. Maybe it can be a bit longer, but actually what you want is the simplicity. You want the story to hit all the beats and to use the tools and techniques. If you've seen the tools and techniques section on my Story Hacker YouTube channel, you'll know that there's lots of ways in which we can increase the salience and resonance and sort of viability of a story, right? So we want to use those, but fundamentally we want something pretty simple because I want you to be able to use your story, yes, on your webpage, yes, on a printed brochure, but also in a conversation and networking event, and also on stage if you're doing a presentation. And that requires not some dead thing, but a structure, a series of beats that is true and authentic and therefore easy to remember, but can change. You know, if I'm talking to my 16-year-old daughter about creativity and about, you know, the moment I had in 2015 or so when I really began to feel I was living the wrong life and I wasn't doing what I wanted to do, even though I was quite successful outwardly, all that kind of stuff, I would tell it in a very different way to the way I would tell it to a boardroom full of executives, right? Exact same story, but the nuance, the inflection, the details can change to suit the audience. And that's, you know, that's what we really want. So it's not a dead thing, you know, write your story out. Character, conflict, consequence. You know, write your story out as a structure, but just do it one line at a time. Get the beats in, and then, you know, you can start to evolve it, and you might change it from time to time for different audiences. And obviously, if you're at a networking event, you're having a conversation. So there, you know, things need to go in a different way. But if you can keep that sort of that fundamental simple structure, you have something that the rest of the humans in your life, or the humans that you meet, they are wired to be interested, you know, because of the reasons I've talked about in other videos, why story works for business so well for business. So your final job is to write your story down, a series of lines. Give yourself 25 lines to tell your story, one sentence per line, yeah? So we're not doing paragraphs, we're just doing beats, one sentence per line. If you're looking for more inspiration, check out the storyhacker.tv channel. If you want to, you're welcome to you know, ask me a question. My contact details are everywhere. So I'm very happy and friendly, and I always reply. And if you could, it would be a great favour to me if you'd like this video, or ask a question in the comments, or subscribe to the channel, or whatever it is. Or if you're interested in, you know, the personal one-to-one sort of service, if you've got a story but you're struggling to tell it and you want to work with someone who's done it before, yeah, reach out and ask. I'll be very happy to chat through what's involved. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the series. Bye now.